How y'all doing? I got myself another TwoSun here since it's TwoSun Tuesday, and as you can see, this one is quite ice blue. I did the anodization on it because I kind of felt it needed something, so I did that something to it. Yeah, this guy, you can see we got a fairly short scale, as not short that way, but not very tall going on there. And yeah, on the back side, we can see we got this nice titanium milled pocket clip and nice back spacer, which I also anodized as they are titanium. And yeah, we can see we got a flipper tab here. We also have a hole up top here, but it is a little tiny bit awkward, but not nearly as impossible as you might think for this kind of guy here. Yeah, this one is from that's Vincent Oliver's Maker's Mark there. You can see this is a 14C28N blade, and yeah, it's got some micro scratches and things like that in there. Most of them came with it. I've probably put on a couple more because, hey, what are you going to do? I like to use my knives. And this thing actually surprises me quite a bit. We have basically a 3¼ inch blade, but we can see that we have a little bit more cutting area since I'll measure from that tip there. And we do have a pretty good sharpening choil going on there. The plunge grind basically ends right around here. So yeah, we got a couple of sharpenings at least before we're going to run into any issues there. So that's kind of nice. But yes, 3¼ inch blade there, but very comfortable 4-finger grip on this thing. We got some nice contouring going on here, and of course this thing is micro milled basically everywhere you can see, except the back spacer here. Hidden lanyard hole there, so that's you know, a nice attractive way to do that, and I really do like the look of that back spacer as well. Got those kind of notches taken out there. This thing, for how small it appears to be in the handle, is very, very comfortable. It really locks in there. The pocket clip works great on it. It doesn't really cause me any kind of hot spots. So that's pretty darn good. And we can see it rests on the top here, so it's not going to affect anything really strange going on with lock bar pressure that's going on there. But yes, the flipper tab also works super great. This thing has some stupid good action out of the box. I've, of course, taken it apart and cleaned it up and stuff like that, and, well, it's basically right around the same. This thing, at least my copy of it here, is drop-shutty straight out of the box. So that's pretty darn cool. If you are looking for, you know, a titanium frame lock that perhaps isn't, you know, gigantic and bulky, but still has a really nice blade going on it, this one's pretty good. We can see we have a little bit of a recurve going down there. That wasn't me screwing up the sharpening. That's how it comes. And we can see we basically have a straight back and then kind of a little bit of a drop point there at the end. It makes it a really nice, useful blade, but if you are trying to cut down on a surface, obviously this back part of the blade isn't really going to be used by you so much. But you do have a belly kind of where you would want it. So, yeah, I really think this thing does a darn good job at being a nice EDC knife. Like I said, you know, it takes just a little tiny bit of practice because you have that finger hump sort of thing going on there. But, yeah, not difficult at all to one-hand deploy. This thing isn't super heavy. It's 3.65 ounces, or about 103 grams. So not too bad there. And it's also at its thickest point for the handle, 0.49. So just a touch under the Spyderco Paramilitary 2, which a lot of people end up using as the average there. Speaking of, I suppose I should do some of those comparisons. So I'll start with, yep, paramilitary too. And we can see the blade on it's just a touch longer, but the handle is substantially smaller. So there's that guy. Sure, why not? Mannix 2XL. Pretty large there. If we do push that handle up towards that same hump there, then yeah, obviously the blade's going to be a lot larger. This is a big knife though, so what are you going to do? If we do want to go a little bit smaller, there we go. We got the Kalashnikov 74, and yes, this one is definitely larger than that. Oh, let's see. We got the good old Ontario Rat #1, and yeah, it's not so bad. Right around the same kind of proportions there, but obviously, as I'd pointed out, the handle's a bit smaller. And where is... here we go. Benchmade 940. It is larger. Now, obviously, I don't have quite the same height on my 940, but I haven't really lost much of the tip. I haven't ground any of that, really, except the very, very end there when I snapped that off many years ago. So yeah, and I suppose one last one. Sure, why not? The K-Bar Dozier. Yep, it's larger than that guy. So, a small footprint, but you do get a lot of blade on here, so that's pretty darn good. I like that, at least. This one is kind of a nice sort of a gents carry. Now, you can see with the anodization on here, it might look a little mottled in some areas on there. And that really came down to when I did the anodization on here, I did polish up the titanium a little bit beforehand. And that actually does play with that a bit. So any of your finger oils on more of a polished titanium surface, especially like this with the micro milling and things like that, when you get any kind of finger oils on there, you get light refraction, and it just kind of looks a little bit different. I don't mind how it looks, but you know, it might not be the absolute photo queen of Instagram or anything like that because of kind of how that looks. But yeah, that's so. In case you were wondering, on you know, if you want to try to polish some titanium before you do some anodization on them, just keep in mind that your finger oils can kind of make them look a little bit different and not quite the pure color that they are. Since this was obviously done in an electrobath with the same constant voltage applied to the whole thing. So, there you go. There's that. How about if we go ahead and take a look on the inside of this guy? But before then, I will at least mention the blade stock thickness on here. 3.7 millimeters. So, just a little tiny bit thinner than what TwoSun does with most of their stuff, but still a very, very nice one. Absolutely no worries of getting in contact with the blade there either. So, hooray for that. Alright, I think on this one I don't need to remove the pocket clip. So, if that's the case, then I won't. Oh. That one's spinning freely on the other side. So, Gorilla Grip to the rescue. Come on, chair. Work with me here. Alright. Slap that guy on that side just to hold him still so I can get that on there. And no problems. Good. And pop this guy out here. And yeah, on the inside you can see even more of the kind of modeling appearance. And yep, you can see that's basically my finger oils that will affect that. When they are absolutely clean beyond belief, if you throw it through an ultrasonic bath or anything like that, they do look nice and pure blue color. So yeah, not something that I would probably personally want to do all that much again. But it was fun to try it out, and at least for the backspacer and the pocket clip, looks super great. But we have the standard sort of stuff going on here with the blade. We got the ceramic ball bearings in the nylon cages. We have a well, it's a fairly small stop pin that's internal there, and of course the reverse detent track there going on. Other than that, not a whole lot going on the inside. We got the hardened steel insert there, but yeah, they didn't really do much in the way of trying to skeletonize out this side. I guess possibly they could have taken a little bit out of this side, but if you don't kind of do that fairly evenly between the front and the back, they can actually feel a little bit unbalanced in the I'm going to say yaw, but that's probably this way. I don't know, but the pitch of the yaw, whatever, one of those. So I can understand why they didn't. And, you know, this isn't a super crazy flagship from them, but it's still a very nice model that I really appreciate having in here. And, I mean, I can't promise for absolutely everyone else, but I got a pretty good deal on this thing. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I want to say I got this thing for somewhere around 60. That sounds about right. Could have been a little bit more, a little bit less. I'm not quite sure. It's been quite a while since I've got a hold of this guy. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised when I got him. And had a heck of a lot of fun playing around with the anodization stuff going on. This was at least one of my first that I'd played around with. Not the first one, but one of them. Oh, you really want to go back in that home. There you go. Yeah, at this point it's free spinning. So to tighten it all the way back down. Break that guy back out again, stabilize him. I don't need to tweak it much, but there we go. Yeah, a lot of other knives I would try to dial in that just absolutely perfect, but this thing is super nice and drop-shutty pretty much no matter what you do to them. So, yes. All right, well, this is a TS231. I've seen them come up and down for sale quite a bit. I haven't seen any posted lately, but that doesn't mean that they won't be back. I don't particularly have any inside knowledge on that, but I hope that this wasn't a small run, because this is a pretty darn good knife. I appreciate it quite a bit, at least. So, yeah, that's about all I really need for the coverage on this one. It's a great little knife, really smooth action on it. The handles are very comfortable, even though they're fairly thin or short rather than tall. But yeah, pretty nice one. The pocket clip works pretty darn well as well. As I said, it doesn't rest on the lock bar, but I also don't have much difficulty getting it in and out of my pocket. It's not super crazy deep carry, as most titanium milled pocket clips aren't. I could see them have tried to move this pocket clip up to that Chicago screw, but they probably would have had to also elongate it to actually have it land in that same position. I don't know. They did it for a reason, and well, it works, so I don't really have any problems with it whatsoever. So yeah, this is a pretty nice one. TS231 from Vincent Oliver. All right. That's basically everything I have to say about it. So, yeah, we'll leave it at that. As always, I appreciate y'all for watching, and have yourself a wonderful rest of your day. Yo. You should subscribe.